Sound check 1. Good morning. It is January 9th, 2024, and this is the Business Improvement Area Subcommittee meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order. Please remember that all electronic devices are to be switched to a non-audible function during committee meetings, and I will now do roll call. Councillor Huang?
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Pauls? I see you waving, thank you. Councillor Wilson, I do not see. Chelsea Braley has sent regrets. Alexa Chavez? I don't see Alexa. Tracy McKinnon?
Present.
See you. Thank you. Kelsey Needham?
Present.
Excellent. And Susan Penny, I see you there.
Present.
Heather Peter?
Present.
Excellent. Bettina sent regrets. Nadine Ubel? I don't see Nadine. Emily Walsh? Emily Walsh?
Present.
No. Oh,
I'm here, sorry, just having some mute button issues.
Oh, there you are. Okay, great. And Brendan Wetton is here for International Village.
Present.
Wonderful, thank you. Raj, I see that you have joined the meeting. You can turn your camera and microphone off for the time being until the chair calls on you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the first item on the agenda is the appointment of chair and vice chair. May I please have a nominations for the position of chair for the BIA subcommittee for 2024?
I'd like to nominate Susie Braithwaite, International Village.
Emily will nominate Susie. I have, can I have a seconder for the nomination? Susan, thank you. And I do have an email from Susie yesterday that she said that she would be willing to accept the nomination should she be nominated. Are there any other nominations for chair? No, all right. So then moved by Emily, seconded by Susan. Can I have a vote to appoint Susie Braithwaite as chair of the BIA subcommittee for 2024? Everybody's got their hands up. That carries unanimously. Thank you. And now I'm just going to go ahead and do the nomination of the vice chair as well. So do I have any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Susan Penny.
Sorry, who was that was speaking?
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy? And do I have a seconder? Councillor Pauls? Susan, do you accept the nomination?
Sure, thanks, Tracy.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Seeing none, moved by Tracy, seconded by Councillor Pauls. May I have a vote to appoint Susan Penny as vice chair for 2024? That is unanimous. Thank you. All right, bear with us for one moment while I transfer the chair over to Susan and she will take over. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
Do you want me to just keep going, or are you sending those chair
I'm
procedures?
sending them right now.
Okay. Are you sending them to info or Susan?
I am not sure.
Okay. I'll find them wherever they land.
They went to,
I got them.
excellent. Okay, so you will start on the bottom of page 4.
Yeah, give me 1 second, please.
When you will be asking me about if there are changes to the agenda, and I will say, yes, Madam Chair, there are changes to the agenda. As in the case of last month, I neglected to put the statements by members on the agenda, so I've added that now, so that item has been added.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I'm just carrying on while you get yourself sorted.
Bear with me, guys. I printed this and it's going to be loud for a second, so I'm just muting myself till it comes off because you won't hear me. Sorry.
All right, so if you want to, in the interest of time, Susan, just call for a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda as amended. I see Councillor Huang and Councillor Pauls. Susan, would you like to call for the vote?
Sure. You're not going to hear me. I'll bring the vote.
The vote to approve the agenda as amended?
Amended.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, well, I'll just keep moving on then. You'll have to excuse that background noise for a second.
Sure.
Okay.
Declarations of interest now on page
Yeah.
5.
So are there any declarations of interest at this point in time? Seeing none, we will move on to the approval of minutes from the previous meeting. Item 4.1, the minutes from November 14th. May I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of the November 14th, 2023 meeting as presented? So I'll see Emily is moving that and Councillor Pauls is seconding that. Are there any opposed? Can I have a vote? All right, and that is carried. Moving on to,
Sorry, can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
I see most people are not putting up their hands for a move, so we are, just make sure you put up your hands when you're when voting.
okay, so
8.1 at
moving on
page
to the
6.
presentations, 8.1. So we have the 2023 audit guidelines for business improvements. Rajdeep Dhillon from KPMG is here to present on the 2023 audit guidelines for business improvement areas. So welcome, Rajdeep. So I will turn it over for the presentation.
Hi, thank you, Susan, and good morning, everyone. So I just want to start by saying, should I be presenting my screen, or does everyone have a copy of those slides?
You will be presenting giving your presentation by sharing your screen, Raj.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can everybody see that first page there? Great, okay. Yeah, so to start, I just want to go over kind of like the purpose and an overview of the BIA on an audit perspective. So we complete an audit on all significant accounts and balances based on our established materiality. And how we perform and establish that materiality is based on total revenue, based on prior years approved financial statements.
Pardon me, Raj. What you're showing on the screen is not the presentation that you provided.
What screen did you guys see there? That was the BIA overview screen?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I had provided.
Okay, go ahead.
Was there
It had page 10 of 32, and that's not a document we have. I have three slides.
Oh, sorry, I'm taking it from the agenda. I can present my own.
Yes, if you could please present it.
Sure, yeah.
From the presentation. I can share the screen if that's helpful.
I can, yeah, let me just open it up here. I'll open up a PDF. Okay, do you see the first page there now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so just going back to the overview. So there, materiality is based on 3% of total revenues, which we established based on the prior year approved financial statements. As well, for when we pick up our materiality figures, so when we get the trial balance from each BIA, we will use a performance materiality figure to determine which accounts are significant to test, and we performing testing on those accounts and balances. Another thing we wanted to just point out is timing of audit requests, which has been a bit of a, I guess, issue or struggle over the past few years. When we establish kind of timelines with Nikki and her team for all of the BIA audits, we have certain staff scheduled for those time periods. So again, we just want to emphasize that it's important to have all the required documents that we have initially in terms of a provided by client list, which is our initial audit request that we will send out. Obviously, there's going to be additional requests coming from our team in terms of samples and other requests that we might need throughout the audit. But as a starting point, it's important to have all of the initial requests ready when we've scheduled the audit, just to ensure that our team can work through those in a timely manner and that we can complete the audits in the time frame that we've allocated. And again, any delays in returning these initial audits or requests can result in more time spent by our team, which may lead to additional fees or time to prepare those audits, which has other implications down the road. An area of audit focus that we want to highlight, just for my time, I've been on them for the past 2 years, and what I've noticed and picked up is that we spend a lot of time on revenue, operating expenses, salaries, accounts payables, and then any payments made subsequent to year end. That's our kind of core audit focus, where we will spend most of our time. And then also typically we find that in the past there has been some errors in recording expenses and payables in the correct period, and then ensuring that all transactions with the related party, City of Hamilton, have been appropriately recorded and reconciled. So I guess for the 2023 audits, if there could be a little bit more focus to just ensure that those accounts and those reconciliations are reviewed and ensured that they're complete, I think that would save both my team and the BIA team a lot of time kind of going back and forth on figuring out where some of these issues have been arising in the past. So as a total overview, those are the 3 key areas that I wanted to highlight for myself, just from my experience this past year. And then moving on to the actual BIA schedule for the upcoming BIAs. So for the June reporting BIAs, I think that this year there was a change where there's only 4 BIAs reporting in the June reporting, which is Downtown Hamilton, International Village, Ancaster, and Dundas. And we have staff scheduled starting these audits on April 8th, running until April 26th. I believe the reporting package is due at some point in March that Joanna had sent me an email about. And then for the September reporting, we have the following: Barton Village, Concession, Waterdown, Westdale, Ottawa Street, Locke Street, and Stony Creek. And those have been scheduled from June 3rd to June 21st. And with the addition of the extra BIA reporting in September, we do have 2 staff kind of working on this together, just to ensure that we have the appropriate resources to get the work done in that time frame. I guess I'll stop here just to see if there's any questions on the 2 slides that I've presented.
So we'll open it up into the membership and see, perhaps Raj, you could close that presentation and we'll see everybody up on the screen again if there are any questions. Thank you very much.
Sure. Yep.
Nikki Freeman has her hand up. Nikki.
Good morning to the chair, Nikki Freeman, Acting Manager of Accounting Services. I just wanted to highlight a compliment Raj's presentation with some commentary from Accounting Services. So if I may, there's 3 things I wanted to highlight. The first being that a copy of the December 31st, 2023 audited financial statements after the audits are complete are due to accounting services by December 15th, 2024. As Raj was saying, a client assistance package and a document about management inquiries relating to the upcoming 2023 audits has already been sent to the BIAs through our BIA officer. And if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to accounting services as well. And that we ask that the completed package for the 2023 audits are provided to accounting services before they are sent to KPMG. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Are there any other questions, comments? Tamara, I have a couple of comments. Can I pass the chair back to you since Susie's not here, or how should I proceed?
So you can't pass the chair to me, but you can pass it to someone who is there, perhaps Councillor Huang?
Okay. Okay. Just, I want to, first of all, thank you guys. I know this is a huge task, and there are often delays on our ends that are out of our hands, sometimes due to our accountants and our bookkeepers who are often doing this pro bono, and that trickles down to you. So thank you for your patience with all of us. I know it's not an easy task, but I do have a couple of quick things. On the sampling, we prepare a lot of this information far in advance, and then by the time it gets into your people's hands and comes back to us and we're answering questions, it's long after we've kind of prepared the information. And on the sampling, we're getting the same requests on the accounts payable sampling, on the accounts receivable sampling. So we provide the answers one day, and then a week later, we get the same large invoice tagged in another sampling. I'm just wondering if that's something that can be streamlined so that we're not revisiting the same requests several times in different categories.
Yeah, I think this year, like what I've noticed, I had that comment come back to me from a few BAs as well. I think it's one of it was the timing of when we initially asked, and if there was a delay or we didn't get a response back, and then now that staff has moved on to another engagement because they're only scheduled for a certain time period. I think when the next staff picks it up, that's something we can work on our end, just to make sure we have a better line of communication or notes in the file to say, hey, this has been sent out, this hasn't. So some of that is because we do have junior staff working on it who may have been co-ops who aren't there anymore at the firm, or they've moved on to another engagement and we haven't connected with them. So that's a note that we've made in our end, just to make sure that, you know, we're not asking the same request twice. If something has been requested, then we keep a log of that, who it was sent to by who. So that's something that we will tighten up on our end as well to avoid any reoccurring requests. But sometimes it is that just that lag in time between when we requested it and we hear back. Sometimes the staff might lose track of that. So I think we will make that a point on our end as well, to be more organized, to ensure that there's no duplicate requests.
I appreciate that. As I said, sometimes it's not even a different staff person. It's because the same invoice is showing up on samplings, different samplings. So
okay, yeah, I can see that. Like with the accounts payable or the subsequent receipts, they might be the same transaction, just picked up in a different area. So yeah, I'll make a note of that and tell the team as well to, you know, double check the request before we send it out. If you see a duplicate invoice number, have it in one or the other instead of in two spots.
Yeah, it just seemed like I was providing the same transaction several times in different samplings. Second of all, to your point where you talked about a lot of junior and co-op students, we had a lot of questions that came in that seemed to not understand the way BIAs work. And we had to apply a lot of defense of, you know, large swings in, for instance, we had a large deficit from the year-end tax reconciliation from the city in the prior year, and we ended up with a surplus. So the swing was $16,000.
Yep.
And we had to explain how BIAs work and how we get our funding and why that difference was there. And it seemed to be like a fairly lengthy conversation to a junior person to educate them on how BIAs work. So that's not really a question. It's just a comment that there was a lot of our time explaining to accounting people that were junior on the file how we work.
Yeah, no, that's I appreciate that comment. That's something that I can take back and make it a point that when the next period, when we start the audit, we'll do a kind of a refresh session with our staff just to give them kind of rundown of how the
Yeah, just-
BIAs work, and just so maybe start with us, between me and the partner first, before we ask any of those questions to the client. So
thank you very much.
I can note that for sure.
Thank you very much. That's my only comments. So I'll take the
Back to you,
chair back.
Susan.
Thank you very much. So I guess if there are no more questions, can I have a mover and a seconder to
Madam Vice
receive?
Chair, Nadine is joining the meeting and has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, Nadine, missed that. Apologize.
That's okay. I just wanted to your point, Susan, with regards to the information back and forth, something that the team worked with, that I've been working with this year, and our bookkeepers been working with, that we found really helpful. Something we've been doing is, initially we were getting copies of spreadsheets with each tab sort of outlining the different samples that they were looking for, backup that they were looking for. And what was happening was that the team on the auditing end, they were updating that spreadsheet and then sending a new spreadsheet instead of working in an active spreadsheet. So as we were going in and making comments, and I guess, Raj, this is kind of to your point too, we weren't getting the comments back fast enough for your team to be able to be updated. And as a result, we ended up with multiple spreadsheets saying the same thing. So what we suggested was creating like a Google Sheets or a spreadsheet that could be shared, and then we could work sort of all at the same time. And what it meant was, as we were updating comments, your team was getting that information in a timely manner, and we weren't getting multiple copies of the same spreadsheet, with the bookkeeper working on one, me working on one, and KPMG working on one, none of which matched. Once we all worked off of one spreadsheet, it made it much easier and cleaner. So
Okay,
just a suggestion.
Yeah, we can definitely set, like, I'm not sure if a city share file might be the best way with a live document, or just even a general Google Drive sheet that worked for the Barton one. But yeah, we can apply that to each BIA if that was a good approach that's worked for you, and keep that consistent throughout the BIAs.
Thank you, Nadine. Any other comments or questions before we move on to accepting the presentation? Okay, so I think I'm now safe to ask, can I have somebody move to accept the presentation from KPMG? I see Heather moving that. And a seconder from Councillor Huang, please. And if we could now have a vote, if you can show if you're in favor. So that has been passed. So we will move on to, thank you very much to Raj and the team from the city. Tamara, I think they can leave the meeting correctly now?
Yes, they can.
All right, so I invite you to thank you for coming today, and you can leave at this point in time. And we will move on to presentation 8.2, community cleanups, tools and resources. And we have Whitney Chesney from the Clean and Green Coordinator. She is here to present on community cleanups, tools and resources. So welcome, Chelsea. Or sorry, Whitney.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to provide a quick presentation, just an overview of the Team Up to Cleanup program. Some of you may already be familiar with the program, but let me get this started. Is my screen up there?
Yes, it is.
Great. Okay. So we're going to go over a little bit about the Team Up to Cleanup program, the program streams, and planning your Team Up to Cleanup event. I did leave out the details on the event guidelines and organizer responsibilities and safety tips. Just for the, it is really for once you have like established an event and you're kind of going over your responsibilities. This entire presentation will be available online. So Team Up to Clean Up is available year round. We provide all the tools that you need to conduct a cleanup, gloves, recycling bags, and specially more marked orange garbage bags. We don't have pickers, but our gloves, they're the cloth work gloves, but we are moving to a biodegradable nitrile glove this year. So we do hope that those will be a lot better than the gloves that we currently have. We have up to 25,000 volunteers participate each year, investing tens of thousands of dollars to help keep our community clean. It helps keep our neighborhoods safe. And you can host a cleanup on city property and private property, but if you're on private property, you need to get the owner's permission. With Team Up to Clean Up, there are 2 program streams. So stream 1 is a one-time event. So this is for groups, technically. So if you, as a work team or a family reunion I've had, or an environmental group or a community association, any group or few people even that are doing a one-day cleanup. So they have established a date and a location. Even if they're doing multiple cleanups a year, their stream would be the one-time event. This stream will allow cleanup packages to be tailored to the size of the group, and you'll have multiple options to have the waste collected after your event. Stream 2 is ongoing, multiple cleanups a year. This is individuals and families. So this is where, like what I said with this first stream, even if you're doing multiple cleanups a year, if you're hosting a one-day event, even if you're going to do it multiple times, you're stream 1. Stream 2 is for these people who, I've got a number of citizens who are out there every weekend with their kids at the park and they're cleaning up. Or I actually have this gentleman who is out there in his kayak every couple days cleaning up around the creeks. And this stream is for people to register to have supplies on hand. So they can say, oh, my park is looking pretty bad. I'm going to go do something about it. Here's my bags. And the bags are specially marked, the orange ones for the garbage. What that means is you can put them out with your household trash without it impacting your bag limit. When you are in stream 2 for ongoing, the only collection method is for you to place these bags with your normally scheduled garbage. So you would keep your garbage until your normally scheduled collection day, and then you would put it out with your weekly garbage. And the garbage men and women, they know how to they know that, okay, these orange bags, they don't count. We're going to take them too. So there is no collection option for this stream because this is for like sporadic or regular cleanups. So that is the only collection method for the waste that you collect. When you register for ongoing, you're going to take a quick look at the volunteer handbook, the health and safety tip sheet, photographs and video consent waiver. That's if you want to like hand in some photos, that would be great. We like to use these photos for internal newsletters, external advertising. You register on the Team Up to Cleanup website as ongoing multiple cleanups a year. You're going to select the supplies you require. A lot of times the recycling bags aren't super popular at the beginning of spring because when you're picking up garbage that's been there all winter, a lot of the times it's so degraded that you can't recycle it. So the recycling bags are more popular in the summer. And you can pick a municipal service center of your choice to pick up your cleanup kit. For those planning a one-time event, they're going to review the same things, but there's also an event leader and volunteer participant waiver. This is something that the event leader would hold on to. We don't ask for it back. Everybody that participates in your event does have to sign it. And when they sign it, they are waiving their, it's a participant leader, so they're waiver, sorry. So they are waiving they are giving consent to participate and waiving any responsibility. And then again, there's the photo video consent. And this form does have to be printed off, and it's just the organizer's responsibility to keep this for their records. We don't have to see it. So it's really important that people know they don't have to hand this in, because people have thought that before, and then it kind of seems like, oh, here's another step. Step 2, you're going to find your volunteers by encouraging friends. You can put a thing out on Facebook or Instagram, and you can seek volunteers.
Whitney, has everybody else just lost Whitney's audio? Whitney, we've lost your audio.
Walk their dog, or where they go, what parks they take their family to, and you'll be able to find a good spot that way. Again, so around choosing the location, sporting events, vacant lots or parking lots, you have to have the property owner, neighborhood streets, parks, trails, or play areas. And we obviously discourage any cleanups near busy streets or parks with any encampments. Step 4 is picking the day. Take a look at the weather forecast leading up to your event and set a rain date in case of bad weather. Now, because you do have to register a minimum of 2 weeks out, I understand the weather forecast is very difficult to predict. And I have a lot of people that register 6 or 8 weeks out, which is fine too. So just as the event is getting closer, take a look at the weather. And if you need to change your date and you've already arranged collection, just send me an email at cleanandgreen@hamilton.ca. And then what I will do is I will just make the changes on the back end to make sure that you have support for your event. So once you've figured all of that stuff out, you're going to register your event on the Team Up to Clean Up website. You're going to need to know how many volunteers you expect to attend. You don't have to have it right down to 48. Just like what you expect, and I would say add 5 to that, just in case, because sometimes people show up with their friends or their family members, and they may have just registered as themselves. The date of your event and the types of supplies you need. Are you providing your own gloves? Are you looking for recycling bags? Are you just looking for orange bags? We also offer leaf and yard waste bags. So these are things that could help you facilitate like a really good cleanup in your neighborhood. You're also going to have to give us some location details. So we get a GPS coordinate, and then I provide that to the correct department along with a description. So when you put your pin on the map in the online portal, it's going to spit out a GPS locate. And then you're going to write in the description, say, northwest corner of James and Cannon. And then they know, okay, that's where it is. So it helps the other departments in planning for their routes and collecting the trash. And you'll need to know which municipal service center you want to pick your cleanup kit from. You can pick them up at City Hall, Dundas, Waterdown, Stony Creek, and Glanbrook. So there are 3 ways to deal with the trash after your event. The first way has the lowest carbon footprint, and that's take the bags home with you and place with your weekly trash. So I do have a lot of people that want to reduce the carbon footprint of their event. So they take their bags home, split them amongst their volunteers, and then they put them out with their trash. The other option, one of the other options, is to have the city collect the bags. The garbage must be left on city property. Location details must be provided at the time of registration. But again, if you need to change that, you just send an email. And the other option that we added just this year is a waiver to take our specially marked bags to the transfer station by yourself at no cost. So you'd get like this orange piece of paper that says, this is the day of this Team Up to Cleanup event. They're going to be bringing our specially marked bags. Do not charge them. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over this, but this is more so about if you're planning an event, we would like you to contact Hamilton Recreation and Facilities. And if you're serving any food, ensure that you're following the public health guidelines. And that's it.
Thank you, Whitney, for the presentation. I would like to throw it out to members now if there are any questions.
That'd be great.
Councillor Pauls.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, is this cleanup for all the BIAs, or can it be outside the BIAs? Or is there any streets in Hamilton?
It's for everyone, anyone who lives in the city of Hamilton. So you could say, oh, I'm going to go out with my kids every weekend, so I want to be an ongoing participant. I'd like to have bags at home. Or you can say, you know what, like, let's get a group together and plan a big cleanup. We have a lot of those around Earth Day, National Day of Action on Litter. It's very popular in the spring and in the fall, but we do promote the program all year round. And if there is something that you need that might not necessarily be clear, you could always email that cleanandgreen@hamilton.ca. Just being mindful that I do require a minimum of 2 weeks notice to get you supplies. It's an automated system, so how it works technically, if you register on Tuesday by midnight, your supplies are ready the following Wednesday. But if you registered on the Wednesday, you wouldn't be ready for 2 weeks. So we require 2 weeks minimum for that process and for being able to arrange collection following your event to give roads, parks, or waste heads up so that they can plan their routes and their staff accordingly.
That's great. So how can the BIAs get involved in this? I know I had one on Concession Street. Do they need to contact the BIA to say we're going to clean your area, or just the city?
Yeah, so no, they would decide together, this is what we want to do. So we're going to go online and register on the Team Up to Clean Up website, put in our date, our location details. And then one thing is if you are having a larger event, so if the BIA is hosting a larger event, you can only put one collection location. So if you're like, okay, well, this is such a big event, I don't want people to drag bags all the way down a couple of streets, you can send an email to that Clean and Green and say, we have multiple pickup locations, and we can work that out as well, as long as, again, we've got more than 2 weeks notice. I encourage 3 weeks notice just because of the way the lists are generated.
So it's a good advantage for the BIA to get involved in this. So when they have big events, they don't have to waste money on their own to do the cleanup and stuff. They could organize it as well.
Yes, and I believe Concession Street did do something like that last year. Also, under the Team Up to Clean Up umbrella, usually something we have separate is the cigarette litter prevention program, but we're kind of putting it under the Team Up to Clean Up umbrella now because it is the most littered item worldwide. So we really want to have that be a focus of the Team Up to Clean Up program. So a lot of BIAs may already know that we do a butt blitz annually. And the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because we are going to have one in April instead of June. It's going to be the last Friday in April in partnership with A Greener Future. And we would be closing off the month-long butt blitz when Toronto would be opening it up. So it's very cool that Hamilton will be closing it. And we would like the BIAs to, again, act as hosts so that individuals can register with you guys again and have a way to volunteer. But we're also going to be allowing teams to register this year, which is kind of cool. So say your employer wants to do something for a team building day or an informal group like a community or a neighborhood association, they can register as a team, right? And then what happens is at the end, we collect the butts and we weigh them. A Greener Future weighs them, and then they are actually recycled instead of ending up in a landfill.
Thank you. The last question I want to ask is because I had happened on Concession. I had a group called. They want to clean up the park where we have few homeless tents there with garbage gathering. And I know the city, we clean it up. Do we suggest not to do it around encampment?
Absolutely no encampments.
No encampment completely. So we
and you would, if you have a concern about an encampment, you would email unsheltered@hamilton.ca and they would look after that. Absolutely under no circumstances, even if it is an encampment that is clear of people. Right. We do not want anybody going there on their own and cleaning up those encampment sites. And again, like if you were registered for a Team to Clean Up, you would get a tip sheet, right? And we say no sharps. Right? Yeah. Do not pick up sharps, report those. I know some groups say they're specially trained for sharps, but we do say do not pick up sharps. Try and stay away from traffic medians and busy roads to ensure, all of those safety things were appropriate clothing, footwear, that kind of stuff.
That's good. It's good to know because I got a couple of emails. They want to clean the park. They want for, so that it looks nice on Mountain Brow there.
Yes.
But there, we have some encampments. I told them do not go there.
Yes.
And they need to make sure, I mean, we love to be clean, but that's what the city does. We clean those areas. So make sure the BIAs know that. Okay.
And that is my neighborhood park. It's just down the street.
Yeah.
And they are also redoing that park right now too. So it's going to be a nice, big, beautiful park in the spring. It looks like lots of development happening there.
That's great. You're Ward 7 then.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pauls. Are there any other questions for Whitney? Brendan.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, so I just had a quick question. Would we be able to get some of that information sent to us just to send out in the newsletters? I know a lot of the businesses in the area do pick up garbage themselves, so if they could have access to that second stream there, that might be a good thing for them.
So what I can do is I'm working on putting together these share kits. So I work with the communications department to develop graphics that we share on our social media platforms. So they are sized for social media. So I can send out things like, the one that's for an IG story, the one that's for a TV screen, like whatever format, I can send those out to you. They just pretty much advertise the Team Up to Clean Up and go into the website. But when you go to the website, you would be able to find all of these things. They aren't posted there yet because we're just waiting on finalizing them. They will be up before the spring, but I can provide these items to you, like the safety tip sheet, the entire PowerPoint presentation that kind of goes over these things. And then you can communicate that information in a way that's good for you. You can use our graphics and say, hey, there's a second stream of Team Up to Clean Up. If you didn't know about it, you want to have bags on hand, here it is. And you can kind of decide how you're going to deliver that information, but I can provide you all of the things to have the right information and graphics as well.
Perfect. That would be great.
Great. I hope you're participating with the butt blitz again. Thank you.
Thank you, Whitney. Are there any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I would like to ask for somebody to move to accept this presentation from the Green and Clean program. I see Nadine moving that, and I see Kelsey seconding that. And if I could have a show of hands, all in favor? That is approved. Thank you very much, Whitney, for the presentation and that great information. And hopefully we can keep the city looking great and clean. And you are welcome to leave the meeting at this time if you would like, as we move on to 13.1, updates from the Business Development Office. I believe Christine is away today, so we're just having Judy Lamb, Manager, Commercial Districts and Small Business, to prevent an update from the committee. So we'll turn it over to Judy now.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
Thanks, Whitney.
Hi, Susan. Thank you. Yeah, while Christine is away, I just want to let you know that thank you for all participating in the Spend It Here campaign. We will share some stats with you later, but it was very successful. There was thousands and thousands of new viewers and that saw your messages. So I hope you thought that it was a great campaign. I know we featured our Anthony, who's from our own research and marketing team, and I think he did a great job. So we will share some of those stats with you. The other thing was I know I signed a lot of checks in December, and so hopefully you will be seeing those that we're ready for your levy checks, the shared parking revenues, contribution to operating budget. I can't keep track of how many check recs I signed before Christmas, but hopefully those are all on the way, or you've already received it. I believe you've probably already submitted what you need for the awards that we usually do with the Chamber of Commerce. So we're working on those. And I think you guys are also working on NOSH events, and I'm going to get, I have a meeting later today in terms of talking about the NOSH participation by the BIAs. I think each BIA was going to submit what your plans are. So I will get an update from Michael Marini, since we'll just be waiting to hear back from all the BIAs and as to the events that you're planning for NOSH. And I think I'm trying to think in terms of what else. We have a report going forward in February for the new patio season, the temporary patio season. So stay tuned for the updates once that report goes to committee, and then we can update you in February as to the new patio season. And I'm just looking at what else, the social media campaigns, where you have the list for the year. I believe for January it was concession. And then, so if you continue to work on that, and if you're not sure what month you have, just email us and we can remind you. I know you guys did a great job last year, and we were happy to share all your social media posts. Trying to think what else I have updates. In terms of, I'll just go through some incentives that were made permanent. The commercial vacancy program, which is where if you have a vacant spot in your business that we can help with financial assistance in terms of incentives for permanent improvements to that space. So that was made permanent in the fall. Also, we have the graffiti removal program that will be in place till March 2025. So if you know any of your businesses that have been affected by graffiti, please do share. We've also created postcards. If any of you want, hopefully you've received some, but if you want some, we have given it also to our bylaw officers that when they go out, that they can hand out the incentive that we've had for some of the graffiti removal. And I believe in terms of the wraps that we've done in the utility boxes, luckily the weather was pretty good in the fall. And I mean, not looking at today, but I know that the schedule of getting them, what ECDIV did was pay to get your BIA traffic wraps done early, so that most of them, I understand from Christina, have been done. So, you know, I think they've done a good job. We have photos and we will be sharing those and hopefully presenting it for some of our downtown awards as one of the programs that we supported. And that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Judy. And just, we've been getting great feedback on those wraps. We've done some social media and the community loves them. So thank you for your support on that. Are there any questions for Judy from anybody? Seeing no questions. And I just want a reminder, I think, Tamara, for quorum, are any of the BIA directors that are on to be on camera to make sure that we do have quorum?
So we do have quorum. Tracy has her camera off. She sometimes has problems with her camera. Okay. So she turns her cameras on and off as she can. We do have quorum without her though.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so being no questions for Judy, then if I could have somebody make a motion to receive the update from the Business Development Office. And I see Heather making that and Tracy seconding that. All in favor to receive the presentation. Thank you very much, that is carried. So we are now going to move on to 13.4 statements by members. I would like to invite BIA members to provide us with their updates. Oh, you've got them in alphabetical order. I was going to go them by order that I see them on screen, but we will go alphabetical, starting with, I don't think Chelsea is here. She's not here. And Concession Street is not here. So we will move to Tracy McKinnon, who will give us a update on Westdale Village and Stony Creek BIA. Tracy.
Thanks, Susan. Westdale Village, just doing all the wrapping up of last year and the planning for 2023, getting all our events in order and grants submitted and that sort of stuff. We, I think, only have 2 places that are for rent, which is unusual that they're actually here this long. So hopefully that's not a sign for more to come. And our students are back in Westdale as of yesterday, so we're quite happy now. Businesses are happy. And then moving to Stony Creek, we're undergoing a big development right in the middle of our BIA, which we're all excited about, and the demolition is going to start very soon. And soon we'll have our very first condo in the little downtown there. So in the meantime, we are wrapping up 2022, planning all our stuff. Sorry, 2023, planning all our stuff for this year, getting our events and grants and all that sort of going on. And then I'll report for Locke. Bettina's not here. Same thing as well, that we are just sort of wrapping up stuff and getting things planned and organized for this year. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy. We will move on to Kelsey from Dundas BIA. Kelsey.
Hello. Like Tracy, we are wrapping up last year, doing some grant work. We do have a new business that opened just in December. They did a soft open, Homestead Candle at 2 King Street West, and they're hoping to do some renovations and then do a bigger launch either this month or next month. We did in December finally approve a new logo, so we're working on that launch along with our new website. It's very exciting. And yeah, we completed a very successful Dickens of a Christmas. From what I heard, one of our busiest. We had really good feedback from our businesses and on social media. So just really good way to start the new year.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. Oh, it's to me. So I'm going to throw to Emily to chair so I can do my update, which I have very little. Our holiday programs were very successful this year as well. They were well attended. They went off without a hitch. Our streets were very busy, so it was great to see that life and vibrancy and have the opportunity for the first time in several years to be able to plan in advance for our events and not play catch up the way we were during the pandemic and lockdowns. We have put out a survey to our members, and we're getting a little bit of response trickling in just to help us as we head into planning for 2024 to get the feedback and their thoughts on where they'd like to see changes in some of the programs that we do. It is pretty quiet here. We're continuing to put away our holiday decor. If anybody has storage ideas for a lot of large lighting installations, got to figure out where to keep those. And we're gearing up for our farmers market. We will be putting out our applications very soon and starting to ramp up for the spring season already. We have L'Altra Milano, which is the new Italian restaurant. It opened the middle of November in the former Lord Byron. So we're happy to see a new Italian restaurant in our community. I'm not really sure because we haven't met for a while. So some of these I might have already mentioned, but we have a new home gift store, a Larry Home on Dundas Street. We have a new nail salon that is opened up in the Sobeys Plaza. And I'll be doing my reconciliation of openings and closings. We tend to be seeing some closings, but new things are opening up as they close. So I think we'll be probably net over the year. That's all for me. So I will take the chair back from Emily and I will throw to Heather Peter from Ancaster to provide us an update, please, Heather.
Hi, everyone. So like most of us here, we're just wrapping up everything from 2023 and planning for 2024. So getting our subcommittee meetings together and, figuring out what we're going to do for the next year. Some business updates from the Ancaster Village. Cavalinero has sold, so they have new owners there. They'll be reopening soon. I think it's going to be a similar sort of idea, but new owners there. So we're excited to see what they put together. We have Holistic Solutions NP opens in January, so that's healthcare from nurses. So that's exciting. We have a new barber shop coming soon, and then we also will have a new cafe tea house coming soon in the village. So more information about that probably in the next meeting. Our farmers market for 2024, the applications have just gone live. So if anyone knows of anyone, our applications are out there. And that's it from me, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. So Lock Street was updated by Tracy, so we will move to Nadine from Barton Village, please, Nadine.
Yeah, so very similar to everyone else, wrapping up 2023 and looking at some planning initiatives. We've submitted our City Enrichment Fund applications for our events, and we actually have a group that's working at bringing a farmers market to Barton Village as well. We're hoping to locate that in the parking lot at Birch and Barton. There's a big empty space there. So yeah, there's a group working towards that in partnership with the BIA. So that's exciting. Some new spots, Comma Cafe, if you haven't had a chance to get there yet. It's in the old Fisticuff space at 301 Barton. They did an incredible job with the interior finishes, and they've got a pickup window, so you can order ahead of time and pick up. Very cool sort of brunch spot. The coffee equipment, including the large espresso machine from Emerald Coffee, found its way across the street to Barton Sulu Maria, who now opens at 7 and serves coffee. So lots of coffee spots, including 541, which is reopened, which we're very excited about. They were very much missed while they were closed. So it's nice to have them reopened and serving the community again. Maisie's Pearl, the oyster bar, has officially opened now as well. Great spot if you love oysters. Again, the interior finishes, like, I don't know where these guys are getting their designers and their crews to do this stuff, but it's very refreshing and it's really nice to see. And we have a new furniture shop. So it's mid-century modern furniture. The name of the business is called Accent, but spelled AXNT. And it's in the old Barton Furniture. So sort of a revival of that space. Yeah, and they're new to the area from Oakville, I think. So that's pretty much it. Just lots of planning and gearing up for what we're hoping is going to be a really exciting 2024.
Thank you, Nadine. Emily from downtown Hamilton.
Hi, everyone. So, yep, echoing what everyone has said here, we had a good Christmas overall. Despite having some rain day of, the Christmas event was still well attended, and the Ferris wheel was well received coming back this year. We did run into a bit of a conflict just between kind of the seat process and park rentals interacting with the encampment protocol. We're kind of hoping to get some more clarification on that interaction in 2024 going forward. But in the end, everything worked out great, and it was nice to see people coming down to enjoy the Ferris wheel in Gore Park. We're planning for 2024, getting everything all lined up as to events, marketing initiatives, and all of that fun stuff. We do have a few new businesses. Chatterbox is open at 129 King Street. They are Mumbai and Gujarati street style food. So that sounds really amazing. So definitely pop in and check them out. New Age Laser Clinic has opened on John Street South, as has a Liberty Tax Service location. And another exciting development is there's a new restaurant that's coming soon down here, going into the onto James Street North, and it's called The Standard. And so we're very excited to hear more about that in the coming weeks. And that's all for me.
Thank you, Emily. And we have, last but not least, Brendan from International Village to provide an update. Brendan.
I just have a short update. So we're starting to plan for 2024 as well, just like everyone else. We've had one business open in December, so they did their soft opening at the end of December, and then they'll slowly open up over January. It's called Spruce Hamilton. So they do home goods. It's home goods retail in the front, and then a hair salon in the back. So that's really exciting. Yeah, and we look forward to 2024 as well.
Thank you, Brendan. So I believe we have now, everybody who is on the call has provided their update. May I have a mover and a seconder to receive the statements, please? So I saw Kelsey first and Heather seconding that. And if we could have a vote, all in favor to accept those presentations. Thank you very much. And so the motion is carried. Is there any other business? Anything else that anybody would like to discuss? Okay, seeing none, then may I have a mover and seconder to adjourn the meeting? Councillor Paul's put her hand up very quick to adjourn, and I'll have Kelsey seconding that. All in favor of adjourning the meeting? Thank you very much, everybody. Happy New Year, and here's to a great 2024. Let's get planning. Thank you.
Thank you all.